It's now time for Punted, a podcast discussing the very latest in all things racing, including tips, giveaways and laughs. Here's your hosts, Scott McKinnon and Nathan Kendrick.
Hey guys, welcome back for the second season of the Punted Podcast, Nath. We're lucky to be joined by last season's Metropolitan State Premiership winning jockey, Jimmy Orman. Jimmy, how are you?
Yeah, good guys. How are we? Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for coming on, mate. Obviously, massive effort, back-to-back Metropolitan Premierships as a jockey. I think you're over 100 winners for the season. Is that right?
Over 100 in the Metropolitan area.
Yeah. No, it's a big effort.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's been great, and I think 201 nationally. So yeah, it's been an awesome season.
And you're working pretty hard to win that national premiership too. Aaron Bullock won it. How much did you go down by? It wouldn't have been much, would it?
No, it wasn't much. Finished on obviously 201, and then Aaron Bullock finished on 207, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he sort of beat me fair and square in the end, but I think he rode close to 16 or 17 winners in the last week. So it was a massive effort on for him.
Yeah, no, you're both doing plenty of travelling, that's for sure. You're up at Toowoomba, I think, on the Saturday night as well. So yeah, you both are doing.
Yeah,
plenty
that didn't help me.
It was a bit of a rough Saturday night.
Went up there thinking I might be able to ride, maybe 2, 3, or even hoping for 4. Yeah, and come away with nothing.
Yeah.
Drive down the long range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did.
Yeah, no, it was a long day by the end of it, but got 2 on Sunday. Stuart, I got a winner for your dad on Sunday, which was good, and that brought me to 201.
Yeah, no, it's massive effort, as I mentioned. So was that something that was on your radar sort of early in the season to try win that national premiership?
No, it wasn't. I only really wanted to win it the last 2 weeks. It was my main goals was just the Metropolitan and the Ipswich and the Sunshine Coast and win the Queensland Premiership.
Yeah.
And the national one was just when everyone started talking about it and I was losing, I thought, I didn't want to lose. So I was like, no, I'll try and win this.
I guess we'll talk about all that, Jim. Like, you've been a champion apprentice, you've done 2 Metro Premierships back-to-back now. Obviously, your mum was a trainer, your dad rode, you've been around horses your whole life. You a pretty tall kid, were you? Or were you always pretty tall and lanky?
I was only little, actually.
Were you?
I was pretty tiny. Yeah, I was pretty tiny. I would say normal height, maybe a little bit shorter than most of the other kids in my grade. And then when I started my apprenticeship, I was pretty little still, and I just sort of kept growing taller and taller and taller. And now, for a jockey, I suppose I'm tall, but for the normal person, I'm probably just normal height, really. But I just, as far as I can remember, though, I wanted to be a jockey.
Yeah, right. Nothing else interests you at all when you were young, or?
Not really, no. Just wanted to be a jockey. Yeah, I was into most of the same things that most other kids were into, like sport and soccer, all that sort of thing around the school. But yeah, I remember going to the races and just like admiring all the jockeys. I used to love Kenny Pope.
Kenny Pope,
my favourite.
He's at the
Kenny
Sunshine
Pope.
Coast still.
Yeah, I work with him.
Yeah, Scotty works with him.
I used to say to Kenny, "How do you hold your whip, Kenny Pope?" Like I was like 5, 6. And he'd sort of show me what he'd do. But yeah, he was my favourite jockey.
Yeah, as I said, he's still around.
Yeah,
Scotty works with him.
He definitely doesn't look like a jock now. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Big Ken.
He was a gun jockey when he was riding. I think he won the Oakley Plate, didn't he? And he was
Swiss Ace was his horse that took him to stardom.
Yeah. Sorry, Jim, you there?
Yeah.
Was he one of your idols growing up when you wanted to be a jockey? Was he who you looked up to?
Yeah, Ken Pope, Starthy, Fitzidis. I used to love those 2. I used to watch Starthy a lot. Ken Pope.
Yeah, there you go. And what did you finish school before you started your apprenticeship?
I was in the process of finishing school. I was riding and doing school, and it just got too much in year 12. I'd done probably 2 months of year 12, and then I had to give up school. But in the end, once I finished my apprenticeship, 3 years later, my points contributed, and I ended up getting a year 12 certificate anyway. So it worked out. I killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't worry about that grade 12 certificate now anyway.
Yeah, not for now. But at the time, it was something that I wanted to finish. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it was getting too much. I was just missing too many days riding, and I was going to school, and I had no idea what they were talking about because I'd missed lessons during the week. It was and it was like no point in being there.
Yeah. So how old were you when you sort of started riding with your apprenticeship?
I must have been 15. I remember I had my first race ride when I was 16.
Yeah.
And a couple months old.
Yeah. Right. And
only really young when I first started.
Yeah. So where did you do your apprenticeship?
Just at Gatton with my mum.
Yeah.
Caroline Elder. She's still got a few horses in work.
Yeah.
She had a few more then when I was apprentice there. So I was at Gatton. I used to go up to Toowoomba and do my trials. Remember, I come to Deagon to do my first ever official trial for Mick Lakey. And, I was pretty green. I had no idea really what I was doing. I didn't have any contacts at all. I was trying to get trials off anyone I could. I remember Barry Baldwin gave me a trial one day, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever that I had a trial for Barry Baldwin. So, I've come a long way since I started.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Jimmy. You've come a long way. You're obviously a gun apprentice, and now you are the Metropolitan top jock. What do you attribute it to, Jim? Just hard work and dedication?
Yeah, just hard work and dedication, and just that's really that. Just obviously, Mum and Dad brought us up well to try and be good people, and just good hard work ethic, I suppose. And a lot of luck along the way. I've got lucky along the way. There's no doubt about that. Things have happened for me, and I've just capitalised on it. But
you are, as we mentioned, Jimmy. You are quite tall for a jockey. Do you struggle much with your weight, and what's your routine look like for the week if you have to waist?
Yeah, I do struggle, but I've got sort of things down pat now. Just try and ride my light races during the week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and try and ride a bit heavier on Sundays. But I've only really, for me, light is 56 kilos.
Yeah.
But you see me on anything lighter than that, then on a Sunday then I usually like it. But I'm a bad judge. So then again, maybe don't. But my weight, I walk around probably 60 kilos, so I have to keep on top of it. But I always, when I'm riding, I'm never completely flat. You know what I mean? Like I've always lost the weight properly, and I can still. It's not like I'm getting legged up, and I'm just like a zombie.
I was about to say that, Jim. You can look. Some of them look that dehydrated and they're just dead to the world because they've been wasting for the last 2 days, and you're always pretty bright.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty bright, so sometimes I do feel half stuffed, but I'm still just riding at 56 for me is a weight where I'm not completely ruined. Like I could still try and give your horse the best steer I can, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be out there wasting too much and then can't ride a good race. I know Tony Gollan always told my manager he only wants me at 56 kilos. Like he doesn't want me riding any lighter because he knows I'll be, no good come race day. But there's the odd times where sometimes, there might be a good horse come along that's got 55.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ride it. And I'll just make sure that I'm spot on ready to go for that weight.
Because I think Antino one you were supposed to get down to ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rode 55 and a half.
Yeah.
We're lucky nowadays we can plus half, which helps. I rode him at 55 and a half. And, I rode 53 in the Stradbroke probably 3 years ago.
What was that?
When I was nicking over and ran third. Probably should have won too.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. On that too, Jimmy.
Yeah.
In the Stradbroke and Group 1 races, you haven't yet knocked off a Group 1. Obviously, that's something that's you want to achieve, and you're probably unlucky not to have achieved it yet. So is there any horses that you can sort of think of or that come to mind that we should be following that you might get that Group 1 win on?
Yeah, Antino's one. Maybe Miss Jolene in a flight stakes.
Is that Schweda's one?
Schweda's one,
Yeah.
yep. Father-in-law owns that.
Better give that a good
Not
steer.
a Group 1, but it's just as good as the Kosciuszko. So if I can win that, that'll be like winning one, I suppose.
Yeah.
Far too easy.
Yeah, it was a big run the other day.
Massive.
Yeah. Unlucky not to win.
Just haven't won one, but I've had plenty of placings in them. They're hard to win, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was on Kovalika in the dart. I was riding Kovalika and then got taken off it for J-Mac in the Derby, which
I was going to ask you. I didn't want to bring it up. Like, I didn't know if it was a sensitive topic or not. But how as a jockey do you deal? Well, I mean, there's not much you can really do. But how do you deal with the situation? Yeah.
Just let it go, really. Obviously they wanted J-Mac on, so it wasn't my ride. It was simple as that. It was, and you can't just say, I can't sit back and say, I would have been on Kovalika because I wouldn't have. Like J-Mac, they wanted J-Mac on it, so that's who they put on it. And I suppose I've got to just be better if I want to be on it. Like, that's just how it works. So
yeah, for sure.
A bit stiff though, because I've won 3 on it, but it is what it is. That horse, I want to do great things, so I know how good that horse is. It's probably good enough to come out and win a Melbourne Cup or something, that horse.
Yeah. Do you reckon you'll get a sit back on it, or J-Mac will continue riding it now?
J-Mac will no doubt stick with it, but you never know. If there's 2 in one race, if it's the one that they don't want to ride and they haven't got a jockey, they know who's won on it 3 times, so you never know.
That's it.
I might get the call up again, and I'll take the call up. There's no doubt about that.
Hey, with this new season, obviously you're talking about a few horses that can win a Group 1. You're clearly keen on travelling interstate to Melbourne and Sydney. Yeah, I'm keen this year to be doing travelling and riding those horses. Yeah. Nick and Antino's the one that comes to mind first. So
what's
won
his
8 races on him.
What do you have any idea what his campaign looks like this time in?
He's going first up into a 1,400 metre listed race at Flemington.
Yeah.
And then his grand finals, the 2-rack, I think, this prep. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which I noticed he's second favourite in. So.
Yeah, right. So will you be staying down there the whole time over the carnival, or will you sort of be coming back? Nah.
I'll come back and ride.
Yeah.
And ride. But yeah, I'll miss a great. If I do get the ride on him, I'll be missing a fair bit of Brisbane because he'll have 4 runs down there, I suppose. So that'll be 4 Saturdays here.
That you're not here,
Yeah, but it is what it is if you want to ride those horses. And then obviously with the Kosciuszko, I'll miss that on Everest Day. And Miss Jolene in the flight stakes, that's another Saturday. So I'll be doing a fair bit I'll miss a fair bit this year, but hopefully I can still win the Premiership.
Yeah. Well, there's a few
I'm sure a lot of the other jockeys will be doing the same thing. Like the other competition will be looking to go away as well. I know Ben rides Uncommon James and that sort of thing. So I'm sure there'll be other jockeys away as well.
Pug's gone
south. He's down there already, isn't he?
Yeah, he rode last week.
Pug's down there already. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Sure. And obviously you won the premiership in Brizzy, Jimmy. Is Eagle Farm? Do you have a preference between Eagle Farm or Doomben? Where you ride at?
I prefer Eagle Farm, but I still enjoy. I've had a lot of luck at Doomben as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like Eagle Farm. You can just relax and you can win sort of wherever you are there. But Doomben's still good. I like Doomben because they go along at a good clip, and you can still come from anywhere there as well.
And what about in the provincials?
Provincials, Sunny Coast, any day of the week. I actually personally think Sunny Coast is Sunny Coast and Eagle Farm, there's not much between them, really.
Yeah.
I think, Sunny Coast is one of the best tracks I've ridden at, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a great
love
answer, Jimmy. That's a great
Keep
answer.
Scotty
Keep
happy.
it going. Hey, Jim, I know you've got a young family, obviously, with Heidi. You're clearly pretty happy where you are. Would there be any moves in the future to do a long stint somewhere, interstate or overseas?
Yeah, I'd love to go. I want to go overseas one day. But I just need to tick off a few big wins first, and then I'll be able to do it.
Yeah,
I've obviously got got the premierships under my belt, but that's not really enough when it comes to riding in Hong Kong or something like that. So,
is there a certain criteria that you have to tick off for them to be able to tell you to come or invite you to come over, or is it just something you need, like you feel like you need to achieve before going over there?
I could probably apply now, but I feel like they want those big wins on your resume and those sort of things. So until the premiership looks good on the resume, no doubt about it, but I think they want to see a couple of big wins as well.
Yeah, for sure. And Scotty touched on it briefly too, Jimmy. You've got a young family. I follow you on Instagram. I saw the young fella up on the couch with the whip the other day. So is he looking to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, he's horse mad. He is. He loves it. He gets the whip and flogs the couch, and then if he's not doing that, he's walking around with a golf tee in his mouth and a golf ball, hitting golf balls everywhere. So,
I tell you, I saw a video the other day. He hits it a lot better than I do. Yeah.
Are you a good golfer, Jim?
He's terrible. But he can get up. Yeah, but I enjoy getting out, and he can get hold of one. So I'm starting to get out a little bit to take him to play. But yeah, he loves it.
I saw
him training him up.
Yeah, I saw he flogged something at the window the other day too.
He did. That didn't break the window.
And he's got his own little pony too, doesn't he? At your house.
Yeah, we've got a couple of ponies, and Heidi's got her horse here, Oink. I don't know if you guys remember him.
Yeah.
Oink's here, he's retired, and Floyd's got a pony, and Hallie's got a pony, so yeah, they're lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
I just pay the feed bills.
Yeah, I was going to ask who's doing all the work.
Yeah, not me. Heidi, that's her job.
That's her job.
Does Heidi have any aspirations to train horses, Jim?
She's got her license. Yeah, she has, but just not the right timing at the minute. But hopefully one day the next couple of years, she can get a couple of babies and when the kids are a little bit older and I mean, she's never going to have a massive team, but I'm sure soon she'll train a couple. And we're only 10 minutes from the track, so we're in a good spot. And we can go to the beach. So, yeah, if we can get a couple of horses, it'd be awesome for her to train. But I just got to pay for a few stuff here before we go and get horses.
Yeah, it'd be, as you said, it'd be difficult timing too with two young kids.
Yeah, at the moment it's not the right time, but she's got her license, so she'll be able to do it within the next couple of years if she wants to.
Yeah.
If that's something she wants to do, I'll just leave it up to her.
Would she put you on, you reckon?
Yeah, I hope so.
Just get them kids to an age where they can work and they can do the work for you. That's what my parents did.
That's it. Get out there, pick it up the boxes.
Water buckets. I was water buckets back in the day. I nearly got paid for it.
You're the water boy.
Yeah, water boy. I did the water buckets. No, that's good.
And how heavy did they feel when you were a little kid?
Oh, yeah, in the winter too, and you spill it over yourself. You're dirty. Dirty on it. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, Jimmy. We'll let you go because you're obviously pretty busy. But before we let you go, you've got some nice rides on the weekend. Anything you can talk the listeners into having a bet on?
It's short, but if I was a listener and I was having a bet, I'd go Zarastro. Think of Tony Dolan. It should have won last start, got taken on the whole way, and got beat by Hatchet. So that's one that I reckon should be winning. And on Sunday, I've got a one for Annabelle Neesham, which goes very good.
Okay, what one's that called? Do you remember?
It's something Mistress. Good its name though.
Okay, we'll have a look.
Race 2.
No,
Race 2 at Sunshine Coast.
Race 2. Okay, sweet as. We'll have a look.
Well, thanks, Jim, for coming on. All the best in the spring and the next season. Go kill them. You'll get that Group 1, I'm sure. Keep riding well.
Yeah, it's a matter of time.
Yeah, matter of time.
Worries.
That's it. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks,
Cheers.
mate.
Cheers,
mate.
Bye.